Hello, Holy Enlightenment family. We are here with another devotional. We have another 7-day devotional, Learning Daniel's Prayer Secrets. I want to say thank you for all of those who have been joining all of the devotionals. Hopefully there has been one that was fitting for you. Okay, so do you sometimes want to pray more impactful prayers? Perhaps like Bible characters who saw real breakthroughs and miracles in their lives. This 7-day plan looks at Daniel and his distinguished character, lifestyle, and prayer life at the court of Babylon. God entrusted Daniel with many heavenly revelations of the end times. If you desire to live and pray like Daniel, then this is a good plan for you to read along with me. So, this plan came from Jericho Walls International, and this is Learning Daniel's Secret Prayer. So we're going to start with Daniel 9:23. And it says, at the beginning of your plea for mercy, a word went out, and now I have come to declare it, for you are highly esteemed. And so consider the word and understand the vision. Daniel 10, starting verse 11. And he said to me, Daniel, a man beloved, pay attention to the words that I am speaking to you, and stand upright where you are, for I have now been sent to you. And while he was speaking with me this word, I stood up trembling, and he said to me, you must fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I myself have come because of your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia stood before me for 21 days. And look, Michael, one of the chief prince, came to assist me, and I left him there beside the king of the Persians. And I have come to instruct you about what will happen to your people in the future, for there is a further version here for the future. And while he was speaking with me according to these words, I turned my face towards the ground, and I was speechless. Then, look, there was one in the form of a human. He touched my lips, and I opened my mouth, and I spoke, and I said to the one standing before me, my Lord, because of the vision, my anxieties fell upon me, and I have not retained my strength. So how am I, a servant of my Lord, to speak with you, my Lord? And I just now have no strength in me. And he again touched me, and the one in the form of a human, and he strengthened me, and he said, you must fear not, O beloved man. Peace be to you. Be strong and courageous. And when he spoke with me, I strengthened, and I said, let my Lord speak, for you have strengthened me. So the devotional is Spirit of the Holy God. The presence of the Holy Spirit in Daniel's life impacted all Babylon and distinguished him above everyone else. Also, of no one else in the Bible, it is mentioned that heaven acknowledged that a person as greatly beloved. So, How did Daniel obtain such favor with heaven? He lived purposefully holy. Purposefully holy. Living a holy life with purpose. Daniel 1:8. But Daniel purposed in his heart. So this is guidance, right? Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's delicacies, nor with wine which he drank. So if we purpose in our hearts with God, we too will have to make choices that distinguish us from the crowd. That sure sounds like a peculiar person. 2, he sought God's mercy. Daniel's 2:18 says that they might seek mercies from the God of heaven concerning this secret. And then in 19 it jumps to say, then the secret was revealed to Daniel in a night vision. So Christians mostly pray for things that they need or want. Daniel knew how to seek the mercies of God. Daniel knew how to seek the mercies of God. His prayer life distinguished him even from his friends. Although they all attended the initial prayer time when Daniel shared the news about the wise man being killed, it was Daniel who stayed awake all night. He carried an urgency. He carried an urgency in his spirit that kept crying out to God until God gave him the interpretation of the dream of the king. He kept crying out to God until God gave him the interpretation of the dream of the king. For most of us, it is impossible to keep long hours of prayer during the day because of our responsibilities. However, remember that Daniel and his friends also were serving, meaning working, having responsibilities, full time in the king's court. The only prayer time Daniel had was at night. Although the matter was urgent, he could not take a 3-week vacation to hear God's voice and become still and quiet. Daniel had already established a disciplined prayer life by then. So, another gold nugget. If we're not to this point, that means we have to continue practicing having a disciplined prayer life. He knew how to seek the mercies of God in such a way that deep in the night he waited in prayer until God gave him a vision of the dream of the king as well as its interpretation. That's dope. Like, I don't even need to hear you. I need you to show me. So I'm going to pray and I'm going to wait until I see it. And he waited until God showed him and also brought forth the interpretation of what he showed him. So if we want to see breakthrough in our circumstances, in our church, in our nation, we must follow this example and establish ourselves in a steadfast prayer life with the Lord. And so yes, until next time, tomorrow, where we will come back to go over day 2. Love you guys.